I couldn't help but wonder and question, like, what is this such a big deal? What is going on?
Pasal big feelings, big emotions. And biasanya tanggapan when we say this in our community, we always think about the tantrums, the shouting, the screaming.
Benda yang sama berlaku pada situasi pada waktu A boleh handle. Tapi situasi yang sama, perkara yang sama berlaku pada waktu yang lain tak boleh handle.
Sebagai ibu bapa yang menolong atau membimbing mereka, kami perlu faham bahawa ada isu-isu lain kepada anak mereka ini, without ever discounting that their feelings are huge. Hello, selamat datang ke episod 88 Kita Family Podcast. Seperti biasa, kami di Kita Family membincangkan perihal yang berkaitan dengan makna serta kepentingan hidup bermasyarakat. Kami juga menghargai keunikan serta kepelbagaian sesama kita dan meraihkan masyarakat yang berbilang agama, kaum, kepercayaan, rupa dan juga keupayaan. Kita menghargai hidup secara inklusif yang mengambil kira keperluan segenap lapisan masyarakat, terutama mereka yang kurang atau berkelainan upaya. Selamat datang ke episod 88 Ong Ong Ong. Ini adalah episod pertama yang kami rakamkan dalam tahun baru Cina, tahun kuda. So I know a lot of people dah cakap tahun kuda ni kami semua akan berlari pantas seperti kuda, tetapi we still need to discuss other things that are important to our neurodiversity. Episod hari ini adalah episod berkenaan emosi besar. Emosi besar kepada anak-anak neurodivergent. Kenapa episod ini penting? Kenapa topik ini penting? Actually, sebelum kami mula rakaman ini adalah satu perbualan yang kami semua telah adakan. Ia adalah penting kerana ia adalah satu topik yang tidak melepasi sesiapa pun. Kadang-kadang neurotypical pun tidak terlepas. Sebelum kami memulakan perbincangan kami, saya ingin memperkenalkan siapa berada di studio pada hari ini untuk meraihkan Tahun Baru Cina dengan kami. Pertamanya Nori.
Assalamualaikum. Hi. I missed the memo about Tahun Baru Cina and I'm wearing really dark colour. Minta maaf. Yang lain pakai merah. InsyaAllah. Okay je.
Dan juga Desri yang dapat memo.
Yes, terima kasih Anit kerana mengingatkan kami untuk memakai baju merah. Hi everyone. I'm back in the studio after some time.
Dan dari Kota Kinabalu, kongsi facai kepada Didi.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Well, for me, anytime nak suruh tukar, I boleh tukar.
Senang saja kan kalau tak dapat memo? Okay. So let's get to it. We're discussing huge feelings and we're discussing them in the neurodivergent children's context. Okay, saya akan mulakan dengan Didi di Kota Kinabalu untuk memberikan sedikit gambaran apakah pengalaman biasa kepada ibu bapa yang mempunyai anak-anak neurodivergent mengenai emosi mereka dan bagaimanakah kami dapat membaca emosi anak-anak kami.
Okay, emosi besar. Saya suka bagi contoh kalau kita melihat satu persembahan muzik. Kalau contoh kita tengok satu music video di telefon ataupun pada TV, kita okey lah kalau lagu tu menyeronokkan, mungkin kita mula goyang-goyang dan senyum lah. Tapi kalau kita pergi ke konsert lagu yang sama, adakah kita bergerak dengan cara yang sama macam kita di depan TV berseorangan? Memang totally akan different. Tapi people would say it's socially acceptable. Macam ikut keadaan lah, sesuai lah dengan keadaan. Tapi untuk anak-anak, dalam kes saya anak-anak autism lah, anak-anak autistik, kita boleh nampak bila emosi both sides, sedih, marah dan juga gembira, excited, dia lebih besar. Contohnya, kalau macam saya cakap tadi lah, kalau kita seronok, mungkin kita senyum. Tapi dalam keadaan yang sama, situasi yang sama, mereka mungkin ketawa besar. Mereka dah mula melompat-lompat. So itu reaksi mereka lah. Dan sama juga dalam keadaan apabila mereka sedih. Kalau bagi kita mendapat perkabaran yang sedih, mungkin kita akan terus muka menjadi, nampaklah kita dalam kesedihan kan, dan mungkin menangis. Tapi bagi mereka ada yang sampai meraung, menjerit, menangis dengan kuat. So lebih daripada yang kita expect pada yang I would say socially acceptable lah, yang biasa kebiasaannya. Akan nampak dia ni. So kadang-kadang perkara yang kecil pada anak saya, contoh kalau sesuatu berlaku ketika dia sedang bermain video game, kesilapan yang kita rasa macam can happen at any time, tapi kekecewaan dia tu menyebabkan dia menangis dengan sangat kuat sampai baling-baling barang. So itu yang menunjukkan bagaimana reaksi mereka lebih besar, lebih ekstrim berbanding dengan mereka yang tipikal lah.
Okay, so I'm coming back to Nori. Nori, why can we always say that the feelings are bigger in a neurodivergent child?
Okay. Okay, bagi saya, kalau saya fikirkan mungkin ada dua faktor utama lah, di mana kita memang boleh menyebut bahawa emosi besar ni memang lazim ya dengan the neurodivergent brain. Satu, ada hubung kait juga dengan apa yang Didi dah ceritakan tadi, iaitu bahawa seringkali anak-anak kita ataupun individu, ya, tak kisahlah kalau masih muda ke dewasa, tapi usually bila masih muda, anak-anak mereka yang neurodivergent, dia tak filter tau, if I can say that word. There is no filter to those feelings. So bayangkan, ini untuk siapa-siapa pun ya, manusia biasa, anybody, neurotypical, neurodivergent, but let's just think, I want you to think for your own situation. Dan mungkin ini baru saja berlaku sebab ini perkara biasa, where kita merasa suatu emosi, mungkin ada seseorang yang dah buat kita marah, dan dia tidak berlaku dengan serta-merta ke, it's not all of a sudden, okay, tapi ada build up. Okay? Kita pada hari itu dah memang letih sebagai contoh, dan sebelum momen yang kita rasa amat marah tu, mungkin ada benda lain pun dah jadi yang dah membuat kita rasa mungkin kita pun lah dah geram lah. So pelan-pelan tu akan ada satu momen, satu insiden, dan dia akan bertambah, and then kita akan sampai pada satu tahap, ada seorang tu katalah mungkin anak kita sendiri ke apa, time tu lah yang lepas kita dah minta mungkin 3-4 kali masih tak nak mengemas barang dia ke bilik ke apa. Sebenarnya itu bukan satu perkara yang sangat besar atau sepatutnya kita pun merasa sangat marah. Tetapi sebab pada hari itu kita dah macam-macam lah telah berlaku yang secara negatif, so kira benda tu dah meningkat pada satu masa. Tapi if we think about it, sungguh pun perasaan at the end of it is like, dah betul-betul marah, kita masih boleh menahan, right? Mungkin kita akan tahan sebab kita dah biasa praktis tahan benda ni lah, ataupun kita pun macam okay lah, ada kesedaran sedikit lah bahawa kita lah yang orang dewasa dalam situasi itu kan, like saya mak, or I'm the grown up there in that room, okay, and then mungkin akan terlintas jugalah pada fikiran saya, takkanlah saya nak meletup pasal bab yang simple macam ni, okay, but actually I feel it, I really feel it, okay, because it's so much already. So kalau saya tak ada filter dan saya tak ambil kira siapa dekat situ, mungkin saya yang akan baling cushion ke apa yang dekat saya, mungkin saya akan menjerit. And I'm sure all of us can relate to this, right? Can you relate to it, sisters?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's reason one. Tak ada filter atau kurang filter when you have a neurodivergent brain. I think all the feelings, all the reactions, everything is very pure. Nampak seperti spontan, tapi nak kata spontan pun tidak. It's because more that it is sangat authentic kerana memang tidak akan ada filter lah. Tak ada nak terfikirkan bahawa kontrol ataupun saya ada kat mana ni, ataupun kita dah biasakan diri with that control, right? Of course sometimes we know now, kalau memang dah biasa dalam community kita, faham tentang isu-isu seperti ini ataupun dah mendengar episod kami yang sebelum ini, we've talked about masking, right? Which is kita kenalah buat apa-apa yang perlu. Kadang-kadang seperti berlakon, kadang-kadang seperti kita memakai sebuah topeng seolah-olah everything is okay. Yeah, so this is what we do every day actually, right? We filter in a way. Saya gunakan perkataan filter lah. Okay, let's go to reason number 2. Apakah sebab yang kita memang boleh mengatakan bahawa ND generally have big feelings, doesn't matter what is your diagnosis, yeah? It's because the brain, the body, so many things kalau kita tengok dari segi ialah keadaan dia, right? The wiring ataupun apa yang dia mengalami sememangnya akan lebih daripada rangsangan bagi orang tipikal atau orang yang biasa. Okay? So mungkin bagi kita sesuatu bunyi itu tidaklah terlalu kuat, ataupun kalau kita menerima rangsangan apa-apa juga pun, okay? Dalam keadaan ramai orang, okay? Dan ramai orang ni macam-macam boleh berlaku. Satu, kita rasa macam kita dikelilingi dan dikerumuni and things like that, and then there is not just the sound, mungkin ada bau-bau, mungkin ada mungkin terasa panas, things like that. Whatever it is, the sensory system very, very commonly, if you have some kind of neurodivergence, you do usually have some kind of sensory challenges and difficulties.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So kita tak boleh nak katakan benda ni tak ada apa-apa, tapi kita tak tahu bila dia mendengar sesuatu bunyi itu, mungkin bagi dia bunyi itu sangat nyaring, sangat berdesing, dengan satu tone yang sangat tinggi. Mungkin kita rasa macam tajam bunyi itu, right? It's like really very loud. But for us, it's not that bad. So it's hard to understand, right?
So
it's
would you say they are more dramatic?
They are more dramatic because the feeling is big. Because that feeling is genuinely big. Dia memang merasa bahawa sesuatu perkara itu adalah benda yang besar. And I think that is secara dengan jujur. Dia bukan nak membuat-buatkan, bukan nak membesar-besarkan atau let's say that they are being dramatic ni secara pilihan. And this took a long time. I have to say, I think memang saya kena akui sebagai seorang ibu, saya sangat susah pada masa dulu, mengambil masa yang agak lama untuk faham bahawa apa yang dia mengalami, anak saya, tak sama dengan apa yang saya alami sebenarnya. It's because I couldn't help but one and question, what is this such a big deal? What is going on? But it's because we don't understand or get it, right? Tapi kalau katalah it's a situation where mungkin kita boleh fikirkan untuk diri kita sendirilah. Apakah sesuatu yang mungkin akan menyebabkan satu reaksi besar daripada kita berbanding dengan orang lain? So maybe for some people benda tu ada berkenaan dengan benda-benda yang dia ada fobia, dia tak berapa suka. So dia akan, reaksi tu akan besar lah. Ada orang nampak cicak, cicak. Like, okay, tak ada apa-apa. Tak perasan pun cicak tu ada. Ada orang nampak cicak sampai meloncat-loncat macam jerit. You know, panjat ke kursi, whatever. Like, get this cicak out of the way.
Crisis besar you.
Yeah, so it's cicak. But you know, it doesn't have to be cicak. It might be kucing. A lot of people love kucing. Kucing so cute. But I know people, kucing tu datang. Dah nampak kucing tu. Like, belum dekat dengan dia pun dah datang. Wah, dia dah panjat kursi meja apa dah. It's like, get me away from that kucing.
Yeah.
So you do know that, you know, as human beings, we're just different. So that's what I think it is. Okay. So 1, no filter. 2, the big feelings are real. Really big feelings. Even if kalau kita yang, you know, cuma melihat, right, on the other side, we don't think it's big. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on from that, we're on to Desiree. Adakah emosi besar ini boleh dianggap sebagai bad behaviour ataupun tingkah laku yang tidak normal, tidak tingkah laku yang perlu didisiplin?
Wow, loaded question.
Loaded question. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Be
okay.
careful. No. Okay.
So setakat ni yang kita bincangkan tentang emosi or big feelings, my observation is ia lebih dari segi yang slightly negative, kan? And I will get to the answer as I go along. Yeah, I remember the question. I'm just framing it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So sekarang ni kita bincang pasal big feelings, big emotions. And biasanya tanggapan when we say this in our community, we always think about the tantrums, the shouting, the screaming, not being able to tolerate the sensory overload. Tetapi sensory overload ini juga berlaku apabila mereka gembira.
Oh,
Right?
tersangat.
So,
Yes.
so that is also, to me, that's also considered big feeling. So sekiranya, going back to the question, sekiranya emosi yang besar tersebut adalah sesuatu yang positif, I say let's not correct it. Walaupun di tempat di mana ada ramai orang and all that, but a child is expressing joy. I think we should always welcome the different expressions.
Right, but okay,
of joy.
I just want to come back to the fact that you use the word negative first. You're just saying that tanggapan ini adalah negatif ataupun ia agak negatif because boleh mengakibatkan sekian. Like, okay, go back to that negative before.
So,
I know you're framing, but I'm waiting for that.
Okay, so on the opposite side of perasaan gembira is perasaan cemas, takut, which comes out as screaming, shouting, rolling on the floor. And so these are the ones that I said is biasanya we see it as negative lah. To the public, bila kita lihat seorang kanak-kanak shouting, throwing things in public or whether rolling on the floor in a shopping center, the first thing we say, oh, this is a very badly behaved child.
But if you're going to be shouting because you're happy, but you're shouting so loud, that's also
Considered,
kemungkinan negatif juga, right?
yes,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to the question whether we should correct it, right? Sama ada
We should
kita perlu
discipline them.
discipline ke.
Yes.
I think kita kena lihat konteks
Okay.
of the whole situation. Sekiranya it is, I don't know, for me I also feel as a parent memang kita kena ada some tahap of discipline dengan anak-anak kita. Tetapi sekiranya it is a sensory overload, and for example macam contoh konsert tadilah, right? Like what Didi said, you are going to react differently if you are listening to music at home or you're in a concert. Katakan you plan a day out to a shopping centre pada hari tersebut, tak tahu ada lion dance. Anak tersebut memang very prone to sensory overload from bunyi. The child is going to have a meltdown. That is not the time to discipline your child. That's my point. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in every there must be a proper context to disciplining lah. That is my point.
Moving on from that.
I don't want to move on. Boleh tak?
Boleh.
Okay.
Do
I
you-
don't really want to
move
move on.
on.
I think this is a good one.
Yes.
So if I can just quickly say that the reason why I was like, this is not such an easy question.
Yes.
Is that satu, I think we will always consider that point about wanting to be inclusive and expect that people and understand, appreciate that people can be different, and we accept that these feelings are genuine, right? I'm saying if it's genuine, then it's like, can we understand a little bit better why their feelings are so big? Okay. Having said that, right? knowing that sometimes these very, very big and large reactions because of the big emotion. Okay. Katalah, dia akan berlaku dan benda ni mungkin akan jadi pada satu tahap yang boleh membawa kepada, kesan-kesan yang lain, for example, where jerit dia sangat kuat sampai anak-anak yang lain ke dalam satu sometimes you're in a situation, there's a group, one kid starts crying, the other kid start crying and they start crying.
Reaction,
things like that, or some things which are just like. And to be fair, if we're talking about, everybody has a certain level of sensitivity. What if somebody else has difficulty tolerating, or like if we also, are kind of not prepared. So then what do we do in those situations? I think I would like to say that, yes, I appreciate and I agree with Desiree tentang konteks bahawa kita tengok kepada keadaan dan kita tengok bahawa, kalau, di situasi mana kita patut memang lebih, bersimpati atau memberikan empathy dan perasaan yang lebih memahami dan cuba membantu, dan bukanlah pada masa itu kita nak disiplin. I do want to say that kita nak membantu mereka yang ND di dalam hidup kita untuk menangani big feelings ni. I think a little bit better lah, because for themselves. I think we shouldn't, it's not one of those things where just let it go, like maybe like certain kinds of stimming, which is nampak agak pelik atau luar biasa, tetapi biasanya memang tidak mengganggu sesiapa, ataupun tahap gangguan tu more kepada orang, orang mungkin lepas tu curious ke nak tahu what's going on. But if it's like, big and all that, I think we also do want to help because of I think their own thing. Sometimes the reaction is so big, like physiologically and in your body also things can kind of start to happen, right? I know, for example, I know some neurodivergent individuals, a happiness or an excitement can be so big to the point that it ends up being the opposite.
Yes.
Very, very quickly after that, because they've overstimulated themselves to the point where then suddenly they start to feel not safe. When the body is not safe, dan lepas tu anxiety pula, cemas pula. So daripada ketawa dengan happy, tiba-tiba lepas tu dah something else. And you guys are nodding, so you can relate, right?
Yes.
So I think it's important to take that into consideration. Then we should help, I think, them have a better way of channeling or managing their feelings. And I think bagi mereka yang tahap memahami ataupun sudah semakin dewasa atau memang nak berinteraksi, nak keluar in public, nak go to work, then they're going to have to learn to adjust lah. Like we said also again in that episode about masking, you don't want to be masking all the time. It's too tiring.
Yes.
But you want to have that tool once in a while when maybe you need it. As long as you're not having to hide yourself and look up, or whatever, or mask yourself default all the time to the point you're being tired, it's okay to know that that is a tool yang maybe sebagai contoh lah, antara tool yang mungkin boleh digunakan untuk manage big feeling ini, emosi kita yang teramat ni pada waktu-waktu yang perlulah.
Okay.
Mungkin, right? I think so. We should know we have.
Yeah, that's a good thing, and I'm going to throw it back at Desiree because I want you to, just before we go for break, to explain the Coke bottle theory. Okay, that's what I was trying to tie this entire discussion to what you would say is the Coke bottle theory.
Okay, so the Coke bottle theory, sebenarnya Nori dah sentuh sedikit tentang Coke bottle theory ni dalam contohnya
yang berperingkat
ni, right? So berperingkat. So saya akan beri dalam satu konteks lah. Katakan anak kita yang neurodivergent bangun pagi pergi ke sekolah, right? So imagine it's a Coke bottle kan. So the Coke bottle, dia bangun pagi pergi ke sekolah, something happens at school, dia tahan still on best behaviour sebab dah di sort of condition oleh cikgu, this is your routine in school. So kalau buat ni, next is this, next is this, next
But
is
the
this.
Coke bottle dah
Tapi
kita
the
goncang
Coke,
sikit
yes,
lah.
dah goncang sedikit. Then you go to school, katakanlah masa rehat, ban yang you suka tak ada hari tu. Because it's very common with Hans. Dia suka sangat roti dia kan. Katakan hari tu roti tak ada stok di seluruh Speedmart. So that is dah goncang a bit harder.
Yeah.
Tapi still boleh tahan sebab dia di sekolah. Cikgu dah tetapkan peraturan. Sekiranya you have this, you have to, this is your alternative. Okay, boleh lah makan chips more ke apa-apa benda lain. Kan? Then the Coke bottle memang dah is still tengah digoncang. Lepas tu time to balik. Maybe waktu balik terlebih jam ke, phone, mami punya phone dalam kereta sangkut ke, cannot play his favourite song. Still can tahan. Tetapi
Mungkin lapar juga.
Mungkin lapar sebab kan tak ada ban dekat
tak ada
Speedman
ban,
kan.
ya.
So
Tak
after
mati dapat
school,
cookies je.
after school snack tak dapat dalam kereta. Kena switch to an alternative. The second favourite lah contohnya kan. So then sampai ke rumah, katakanlah the mother didn't pick him today lah. Say it's someone else who pick him. All this happen because still kena tahan. Sebab your safety net is at home. Katakanlah ibu sebagai safety net. Bila anak ni masuk sahaja ke rumah, that is when Coke bottle yang kita dah goncang ni dari pagi sampai petang, when you open it, what happens? This is where the big emotions happen. And a lot of the time, and I want to say this to all the moms out there, ibu-ibu di luar, anak-anak kita kadang-kadang bila balik sekolah ke dari mana-mana, bukan sengaja nak berperangai depan kita sahaja. We are their safe harbour. We are their anchor. We are their co-regulator, so to speak. So bila dah jumpa that safe person, emosi semua meletup.
Mask is off.
Mask is off.
Filters are gone.
Filters gone. I can finally be myself because my safe person is there. So itulah.
And myself at this moment dah terlalu overwhelmed.
Yes.
Dah banyak sangat dah berlaku pada hari ni. Dah tak tahan dah.
Betul. And you know, in some cases, I know, and it's happened to me before as well with Hans. In that moment, adalah dia menolak saya ke, cuba menendang saya ke. Bukan sebab dia nak cederakan saya. But he's already in that mode where, okay, I've had enough today.
Okay.
I've had enough. So,
Didi, anything to add to this before we take a short break?
Well, you guys explain it very well. So emosi besar ni kan. So macam Coke bottle, and then like macam Nori cakap, of course kita so much of like I said just now, mula-mula I cakap pasal it's not socially acceptable. And betul cakap Nori, kita macam nak masyarakat menerima macam autistic may act like this, so we should accept it. But there are also like other side yang kita perlu train anak kita, and then like kita nak gauge anak kita punya sensory load hari tu macam mana kan, dari segi comfort anak kita pada hari tu. So it takes a lot to gauge and to memastikan lah kan, kita nak supaya Coke bottle tu kan tak dia digoncang tapi macam lama sikit, lepas tu baru goncang sikit, rather than macam goncang and you know. So to all mothers, it's not easy for us, but we are always here for our children.
Yeah, and fathers too.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Of
on
course.
that note, we'll take a short break and we'll come back and discuss these big emotions on a verbal and non-verbal setting. Okay, see you in a short while. Selamat kembali ke episod 88 Kita Family Podcast. Before the break, we were discussing big feelings and Didi, we heard from you that, you know, sebagai seorang ibu ataupun bapa, kami perlu manage those feelings, menolong anak kami mengupas kenapakah emosi itu sangat besar, dan juga perlu membimbing mereka untuk mengenali emosi itu.
She just said we'll always be there for you. Explain that.
Yeah, explain that. Macam mana?
Okay, so ni role sebagai seorang ibu kan. So, selalunya bila mereka mencapai tahap yang capacity tu dah habis tau, terus dah tak boleh, dah tak. Sebab ada ketika kita nampak anak-anak kita ni, benda yang sama berlaku pada situasi pada waktu A boleh handle. Tapi situasi yang sama, perkara yang sama berlaku pada waktu yang lain tak boleh handle. Kenapa kapasiti mereka berubah-ubah? Itu yang sebagai seorang ibu ni kan, kita boleh tengok apa yang jadi selama ni, apa ada perkara-perkara lain ke, macam kan kita belajar, so kita pergi kursus kan baru-baru ni semua kita. So this called allostatic load. So load ni level ni lah, stress level kan. So kalau bertambah, dia sama juga macam code effect tadi, bertambah tanpa kita mengurangkan tu, bila dah sampai level peak dia memang akan meletup. So ada satu contoh, macam dulu kita belajar ada satu diagram, small problem, small reaction, medium problem, medium reaction. Yang tu kita nak ajar anak kita lah supaya jangan overreact. So one time after my daughter had a big reaction, so I tunjuk lah, because we had this diagram kan, tunjuk you had such a big reaction for such a small problem. And masa tu dia cakap dekat saya, dia cakap, but mama, it felt like a big problem to me at that time.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, the way we see things are not the same as the way they see things. So itu satu. Ada contoh lagi satu, bila anak saya meningkat remaja kan, kita rasakan selama ni dia cool, dia dah pandai dah nak kawal emosi dia, dah pandai malu, tapi kenapa sekarang makin nampak dia stres, nampak dia mudah marah, moody kan, walaupun macam tidaklah
hormones
big, but
sorry
satu
just go on.
Satu lagi, the demand in her life it's not the same masa dia
betul,
kecil dengan dia dah meningkat dari segi akademik, dari segi sekolah, daripada expectation daripada kita sendiri. Kita rasa macam you kan boleh bercakap. Ini untuk anak-anak yang verbal lah, macam anak-anak saya kan, dia boleh bercakap, you boleh bercakap. In fact, every time bila anak saya had a big emotion, meltdown, tantrum, so we discuss about it, you see, if you follow mama, if you finally ikut mama untuk do deep breathing, you boleh cool down kan. Tapi untuk you mula nak follow mama deep breathing tu, kenapa struggle kan, macam you refuse, you nak juga there's system called logoria, you nak juga membebel, this verbal diarrhea, dia bercakap all these incoherent things, so you just imagine, kita dah tension, dia menjerit-jerit dengan tak berhenti bercakap, dengan suasana yang dah chaotic tu. And bila kita discuss balik kan, okay, and then dia pun mulalah dengan rasa regret, dia rasa malu pun ada, kata mama, why am I like this? So it just shows that the skill, the understanding is there. Dia pun faham, dia pun tahu apa yang berlaku itu sepatutnya tidak berlaku. Dia lose control. Itu yang Nori cakap tadi kan, kalau kita sama ni kawal Desiree pun cakap dalam cold water reaction tu, dia mengawal diri, ada inhibition, ada ni kan, boleh, tapi kenapa boleh lose control? So ia menunjukkan bahawa anak kita, walaupun dia boleh menerangkan, anak saya dia dah lama pergi jumpa clinical psychologist kan, daripada kecil lagi, so dia boleh explain tahu the flow, what works, what are the strategies. Kalau cakap dia can you tell me 5 calming strategies, dia boleh je. Tapi in time of dia punya meltdown tu, bila dah overload
crisis.
Crisis hilang, betul-betul tak boleh ni. Tapi it doesn't mean that kita tak perlu practice lagi dah, tak perlu ajar, sebab dia dah tahu we have to still practice.
Kena practice kena practice, and at the same time kita pun kena jagalah their self esteem, macam okay, I know you are doing very well, and then kadang-kadang bila tempo, kalau selama ni you lose control, like it took you 20 minutes to calm down, now it's 10 minutes, so we encourage see, it's taking you shorter time, and also
ada improvement. And then bila kita cakap pasal stress level tu, how do we diffuse stress, how do we making sure their capacity is bigger. So then this one definitely applies to all of us as well, the parents, the caregiver, the teachers. So diffuse, ialah itu yang tengok dia punya sensory profile, tengok like what's happening at home, and of course later we definitely going to discuss how are you not you, like us. Kita macam mana keadaan di rumah kita, hubungan kita dengan ahli keluarga lain, hubungan kita dengan dia, dan cannot stress enough in terms, ada 3 benda yang saya belajar ini, Desiree dengan Nori lah, kita belajar masa Clubhouse tu: tidur, diet dan physical movement. So these 3 things perlu kita fokus juga. Jangan hanya memikirkan tentang isu-isu yang menyebabkan anak kita mempunyai emosi yang besar, tapi kita lupa anak-anak kita perlukan exercise, perlukan makanan yang seimbang, perlukan tidur yang cukup. So of course bulan puasa ni, bila hari ni kita dah hari ke-3 berpuasa, dengan tidur tak cukup, lapar, dahaga, dan mungkin perubahan dari segi cuaca. So itu adalah antara faktor-faktor yang boleh menyebabkan emosi besar ni mudah untuk terjadilah.
Okay, I really like what the scientific term you gave for verbal diarrhea. That's the first time I've heard it. Thank you. Boleh jelaskan sikit lagi berkenaan tu, Didi? Because I think it would be very useful to everyone out there. Sebab this is more for the verbal neurodivergence, kan?
Itulah, ramai orang beranggap bila meltdown tu, you just menjerit, you tak boleh kontrol. Jadi bila anak-anak kita meltdown dan masih mengeluarkan perkataan, kita rasa the frontal part is still functioning, but it's not. That's why dia macam, dia tak coherent, and then kita nak suruh dia bertenang pun tak boleh sebab dia masih akan terus bercakap. And then ingat tak kita belajar few weeks ago tentang 90 seconds. You have to like let the emotion pass. But the thing is, bila dia keep talking, dia tak ada pause tau. So bila you don't get the pause, macam with anak saya, I think she needs like 20 to 30 second pause. Tu I cakap, okay, berhenti bercakap, berhenti. And then dia akan cakap, but speaking is my hobby. Dalam keadaan marah. Which is like, what do you mean? Marah. So, dia ada satu keadaan yang sangat menyakitkan hati lah. Sebab macam, can you please be quiet? Like macam, sangat tertekan keadaan. So, what I did is like, always like macam, shh. Because sometimes dia cakap tu, tak adalah doesn't make sense sebab dia tengah marah. So dia marah tu adalah, tapi bila kita kata macam, can you do deep breathing? I cannot do deep breathing, blah blah blah, I cannot do this, blah, blah. So dia macam nak bergaduh. Tapi bila kita faham that in that situation, walaupun dia bercakap, tapi sebenarnya she's losing control. She's not in control at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So bila kita memahami, I think kita memang kita tak cepat marah sangat lah. Kan? Sebab bila kita tak faham tu, kita sendiri yang lepas tu marah. Right? Dia dah marah ke dia yang dah nak meltdown, lepas tu kita pun rasa macam kita nak meltdown lepas tu, kan?
Betul.
Yeah, so I think understanding that will help us to also manage a bit better, because memang susah. Like, Didi, when you're explaining that all just now, I'm just sitting thinking, wow, it's true.
And it's taken
very
so long.
hard, right? It takes so long because we've all been practicing. Semua practice. There's nothing. You're right. Like, you have to go back. All the foundation stuff has to be there, because if you're not sleeping, eating right, exercise or whatever, and then in that moment when you are needing energy, right? You need like
self-control,
all that.
Yes.
It's
self-regulation.
Like you didn't do it anyway.
Yeah.
Any tools you learn, any knowledge you have, kalau kita tak praktikkan, kita tak cuba untuk amalkan, biasakan diri kita. Janganlah dalam keadaan dengan momen emergency tu kita expect benda tu boleh membantu kita. Benda tu tak akan datang semata-mata just because kita tahu pasal benda tu, tapi kita tak biasa buat. Kita tak biasa buat, lepas tu kita expect benda tu boleh membantu. No, that doesn't work either, right? So many things sebenarnya to help handle the big emotions. Because if we go back to that allostatic load, right? Allostatic load is all the different kinds of things yang boleh menambah kepada keadaan di mana kita dah hilang capacity. Is everything. Benda yang kita yang nampak nyata dan jelas dan kita tahu berlaku pada hari ini, but also the things that we forget about. Like for example, sebagai contoh, masa like when I got injured last year, right? I forgot that I've been living with this injury for a while and it has left an impact on me. My everyday is just memang tak tak ada pada satu tahap optimum pada waktu yang masa saya tengah cuba recover tu. Benda tu tak ada. Tapi lepas beberapa minggu saya pun dah lupa. Dah biasa terpaksa live with that injury. Tak lupa bahawa benda tu dah meninggalkan satu kesan pada saya. Jadi bila saya katalah saat kata saya memerlukan untuk lari ke loncat ke whatever to handle a situation at that point, memang saya tak mampu. Tapi saya lupa dah pasal benda tu. Walhal it should be considered as one of the lapisan of my allostatic load.
Yep.
Yang akan sampai, and then so many of us, macam dalam kursus ni kita, we were learning about again and again, we don't realise kita dah living at that, katalah capacity kita 100. Kita sebenarnya ramai antara kita, especially parents of just parents, but also parents when we have to care more, or our kids are struggling, they're having a hard time, we are having a hard time, we are hanging out at 90, 94, 95. Kita sendiri dah dekat situ. So, anak kita pun macam tu juga. Right?
The Coke bottle works both ways.
Yes, it does. So it's the understanding of it and then sorting them out, and I think managing ourselves so that we can help them manage their big feelings a bit better. All of this helps. Yes, it's hard, but there's a way to do it. And it is that whole learn, practice. There's tak ada shortcut lah actually. Sorry.
Okay. So we heard from Didi about anak dia yang verbal, yang dapat memberitahu kepada dia adalah kesan dia, dapat bercakap, dapat menggunakan perkataan. What about the non-speaking, non-verbal neurodivergence?
Balik kepada you.
Balik kepada Desiree dulu.
Today rasa macam Desiree duduk di kerusi yang sangat panas. No, but I'm going to start off by being very honest and authentic in my answer. It's very hard. Susah. Sebab I may think sometimes I faham kenapa Hans is having certain big feelings, and I'm sure many times that I'm wrong. Dan at the same time sekarang ni saya lebih confident dan tidak berasa malu untuk berkata kadang-kadang saya betul-betul tak tahu kenapa dia bereaksi sebegitu. Sometimes we just don't know. But I think what I have learned in all segala-segala training and from all my kakaks who have taught me is it's okay to sometimes bila emosi yang besar ni berlaku, or when he's having big feelings, just be there for him. Right? That's not the teachable moment, right? But there may come a time later, which sometimes Kakak SK will tell me, have a conversation with him about it later. The non-speaking doesn't mean non-understanding. Mereka faham. So gunalah tools like the AAC to talk about it at a later time. Not
bila
saying
tak stress.
Bila tak stress, bila anak tak stress, dan bila kita pun tak stress.
Yeah.
So that's very important. And the other thing that has that I also thought of from the first part tadi kan, when we talked about disciplining and appropriate behaviors in certain times. So for example, in happy situation, katakanlah Hans has a really big reaction, a happy reaction. I'm very happy when he has happy reactions. Tetapi I feel maybe we also need to tell him like what Didi said just now kan, big, medium and large reaction. So but don't correct it. Jangan say kenapa gembira tapi kuat sangat. Maybe celebrate first. Hey, that's awesome, you feel great. Tapi why don't we try a softer way of being happy? And I've actually just tried this semalam. So bila semalam saya dapat pergi ambil Hans dari sekolah selepas 6 minggu tak dapat keluar pergi mana-mana because of my kaki, dan dia sangat excited sebab saya yang bawa dia balik. And usually his routine, bila saya bawa dia dari sekolah, dia akan lari because excited nak pergi Speed Mart beli roti jagung. So I had to tell him, okay Hans, I know you're very happy, you're very excited, but can we go slowly today? Excited but slowly because Amma cannot run, kaki saya sakit, but can we go slowly because so dia pegang tangan saya dengan gentle and we went slowly, tapi badan dia memanglah bergegar because of the excitement. But it's progress.
Okay.
It's
That
progress.
means dia memang lower the speed lah.
Exactly. And the other thing that I want to also remind all of us is processing speed and time. untuk semua mereka yang neurodivergent adalah berbeza. So going off that training yang kita pergi hari tu, saya sekarang tengah buat online training as well.
Okay.
From the same trainer, and ini berkaitan dengan movement challenges or movement disorders seperti dyspraxia yang sangat kerap berlaku dalam mereka yang autistik. Dan dalam this sort of movement challenges, it's also processing speed. So ada satu contoh that really resonated with me, and I'm sure it will resonate with many of you. Di mana kadang-kadang bila kita bercakap dengan anak yang neurodivergent, mereka boleh lihat mulut kita bergerak, tetapi bunyi tu tak sampai lagi ke telinga mereka, because the processing speed and how it's processed into your ear, whatever the scientific way, don't ask me how scientifically it's done, but it takes a while. It takes a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so it takes a while. So kadang-kala, and this happens to us a lot. We will tell Hans, let's go out. Hans, put on your shoes. Hans, put on your shoes. So can you imagine, bila bunyi tu dah sampai, it's sort of attacking him. Like, put on your shoes, put on your shoes, put on your shoes. And then dia rasa like, oh my God, it's asking me to put on my shoes. So, Coke bottle explodes. So I have now to consciously remind myself and my husband, thank you for listening. Like, tell him once. And jangan 3 orang sekali. So in my house, sometimes it happens, I will say, Hans, let's go eat. Lepas tu bila father dia dengar, yes, Hans, go and eat. Then grandmother, yes, Hans, go and eat. So,
biasa-biasa tu.
Oh, tu biasa.
so I have to now
Asian
again,
parenting kan? Semua orang
90
kena cakap.
seconds, deep breath, Desiree, everyone, calm down. One person will ask Hans to go and eat.
Right.
He may take, so the point is, to sum that point up, kadang-kadang bila anak kita mengambil masa untuk memberi respon, is because mereka perlu masa memproses apa yang mereka perlu buat. First, they need to know what is it you're telling them to do. And second thing is, then they are telling their body, and especially those of our children who maybe have hand-eye motor coordination issue, the brain has to send a message lah.
Yes.
Oh, now I need to put down the remote and turn left, go straight, take my shoe. So it's a process.
Yep.
Dia akan mengambil masa. Dan kalau kita tak ambil that 90 seconds to just calm ourselves sometimes, it can lead to even bigger emotions from our kids.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Verbal or non-verbal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's summarize what Desiree said. Kepada anak-anak yang tak boleh bertutur dengan menggunakan perkataan, bukannya bermaksud mereka tidak mempunyai perasaan.
Yes.
Perasaan mereka juga besar seperti anak-anak yang lain. Dan bila mereka tidak dapat memberi maklum balas ataupun berkomunikasi menggunakan perkataan, kadang-kadang perbuatan mereka adalah exaggerated.
Yes.
Ataupun lebih.
Yes. Yeah.
Dan oleh itu, sebagai ibu bapa yang menolong atau membimbing mereka, kami perlu faham bahawa ada isu-isu lain kepada anak mereka ini, without ever discounting that their feelings are huge.
Yeah.
And their feelings matter. So on that note, I want to take it back to Nori. Nori, what would be one of the things that you would want to explain about analyzing these big feelings in someone who cannot express them the way you would want to analyze it yourself? You know, this child just cannot express it. They can express it in a small way, but not in the way that you can understand, because we're all different.
Yeah.
So how do we understand their feelings?
Okay, this is also, I would have to say, something that is quite hard, and it's going to, sebenarnya memang akan mengambil usaha yang agak banyak lah. Okay. And I would like to rujuk kepada one of our older episodes, and I think we'll put it in the show notes because I don't remember episode number apa, number apa, but it is about being a detective. Yeah, because this is one of the skills that we ask parents dengan caregiver. Ni antara benda yang kita nak usahakan lah, which is kerana kita tidak mendapat maklumat dan komunikasi secara yang mudah difahami, kita kena lebih cuba mengenali anak-anak kita, right? So you really do have to try to be a bit more of a detective and to try to get to know your child a bit more lah, yeah. So antara perkara yang mungkin kita dapat lakukan is like mungkin kita simpan log atau rekod untuk menunjukkan bila dan bagaimana dan apakah keadaan bila sesuatu emosi besar, especially yang boleh membawa kepada meltdown, I think emosi besar, kadang-kadang volume tinggi sikit, whatever, that's not really as big of a problem, right? I think we are more worried about it when it's mengakibatkan gangguan terhadap diri orang itu sendiri ataupun pada satu keadaan, or there are other things that are going to happen, right? So you want to take note, I think, and then you would record, kita simpan lah, supaya dan pada masa-masa tertentu kita akan semak balik dan kita tengok kalau ada trend. Kita tengok kalau mungkin kita dapat mengenal pasti sesuatu benda yang mungkin sama, then that will tell us something, right? So for example, this is one of the things lah that maybe we can do. Keduanya, I think we want to go back to prevention. Yeah, prevention of this kind of situation. So that prevention kena balik kepada yang kita dah sebut tu lah, which is kita lepas kita dah mendapatkan suatu maklumat yang kita tahu sahih dan berguna, insyaAllah, dan kita kena praktikkan lah, kita kena amalkan. So that at least we try to lessen that frequency of that thing happening. So sebagai contoh, lepas kita dah memahami dan mungkin fikirkan balik apakah allostatic load anak kita yang mungkin kita tak fikirkan dulu, kan? Mungkin kita ingat reaksi besar tu hanya pada benda ni, tapi kita terlupa tentang untuk benda-benda yang lain, dan mungkin itulah cara untuk kita lihat, analisa tu, kita fikirkan balik. Sebenarnya saya tak perasan pun that dia dah terlalu penat, ataupun benda-benda ni semua dah terlalu kerap berlaku. That Coke bottle got shaken too many times, right? And I didn't even realize it was a shake. That was a situation that membawa satu kesan yang besar pada dia, kita pun tak perasan. And don't forget, bila dia terasa something, gangguan ke rancangan ke apa, bagi kita itu bukan benda yang besar, tapi bagi dia besar.
Betul.
Kita tersentuh, kita terkena pada something, maybe kita punya kapasiti kita dikurangkan sebab benda tu dah macam ni, banyak ni je, like a little bit, like kita bayangkan sedikit, tapi kalau macam untuk dia benda yang sama, akibatnya lebih tinggi, right? So like when Didi was talking about, I think it was Amelia, it's like it was such a perfect description from Amelia, but that was big for me. You think it was small or medium, but that was big for me, right? And that is something that we have to consider. So satu, we can think about, we can think also about the prevention, and then the other thing is just I would say be kind to ourselves juga as we are going through this process. Sebab kalau kita yang lepas tu rasa cemas, kita pula yang menambahkan allostatic load kita, right? To the point where after that, it's like if we are not regulated, we are not well, we are not capacity yang pada tahap yang bagus dan elok, lagilah kita tak boleh tolong anak kita, lagilah kita susah, kita tak dapat tengok, kita tak dapat melihat situasi tu dengan sepenuhnya. We're going to miss the details, right? We will forget what it is. And then also I think just to be aware that because of that, the last thing I want to say that's connected to that also is that sometimes kita yang menyumbang kepada keadaan yang big feelings ni. Bukan dengan sengaja. So all of you suddenly thinking this now, don't feel too bad. I know you're going to react and some will be like, because I definitely reacted that way. We all did.
Yes.
When we all realized that we were the ones actually sebenarnya yang menyumbang kepada keadaan dia macam tu, we all definitely felt pretty bad and pretty guilty for a while. Okay, yes. Feel it. Acknowledge that feeling is yucky. Name it and say, I feel so guilty. Saya rasa sangat bersalah sebab saya pun tak tahu saya yang sebenarnya membuatkan anak saya macam tu. Okay, but you know what? Just 90 seconds. Cukup. Because there's a science to how these things, how the neurons are wired, the pathways, the neural pathways it travels. Okay, you want to recognize it, name it, so say it out loud and then feel it for a little bit, but after that you also have to let it go. Don't let it wire sit in your system. Okay, so 1, yes, recognize that sometimes you might be the contributor to the big feeling. So kalau kita dah tahu mungkin kita sebenarnya yang ada, hubung kait dengan keadaan yang all this kind of stuff. If we can help ourselves, right, be in a better place, then all of these big feelings also, we are hoping that we can manage everything a little bit better lah. It's just not easy, but pray, and then always, of course, from whatever belief system and everything that you are, then you continue to hope and pray, right? And then keep learning more, because
this is so timely, Nori, because ni adalah bulan Ramadan. Kepada mereka yang menganut Catholicism or Christianity, it's Lent. A lot of times there is some form of sacrifice done by parents in their faith. And
individuals give up something.
Individuals give up
for
something.
patience and humility. So many things.
Many
right?
things, and
it's a fresh new year.
It's a fresh new year with the Lunar New Year.
Exactly.
So it's a combination of so much, and this is why we are a melting pot of diversity.
Yeah, it's our opportunity to practice.
Practice it, and in very small ways. During this time, we are dysregulated when it comes to sleep, when it comes to diet, and when it comes to movement.
Everything, because it's not
Everything.
a normal regular day.
Yes.
Right? It's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So recognize and remember that your allostatic load is already, macam Didi sebut
Stretched.
tadi lah, actually. Yeah. Different times. Where are we today? We have to figure out where are we today.
Yeah. So with that, we are concluding our episode on big feelings, emosi besar bagi anak-anak neurodivergent. Ini adalah satu episod yang sangat besar. We've tried to condense it today, tetapi ini adalah satu perbualan yang perlu disambung lagi untuk menganalisa bagaimana ibu bapa boleh mengambil satu tindakan yang lebih reaktif dan lebih
Responsive.
responsive.
If not reactive,
Not reactive, sorry, responsive. Minta maaf. And we hope that there are some nuggets in here that will help you through this process. Sebab dalam this Malaysian context of Indian Kuala, dalam the context of very blessed Lent leading up to Easter, and the holy month of Ramadan leading up to Raya, where there are additional burdens of nak sediakan kuih raya, nak beli baju raya, dah ada traffic, bazar Ramadan, kadang-kadang dapat food poisoning.
Semua dalam dalam konteks kita juga menahan diri daripada
segala-galanya,
daripada reaction, daripada tindak balas, dan mungkin perlu sabar sedikit lebih daripada biasa.
Yes, confirm.
So any last words before we conclude?
No, I think we did. We all said quite a bit today. So till next time, I'm going to say bye-bye. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. We are on YouTube and Spotify dan semua laman media sosial kami, Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. Don't forget to follow us.
Thank you.
Nori, any last wishes before we sign off for episode 88?
No, I'm good. I think kita pun tengah process some of these things, and it was a long perjalanan lah before we could also do an episode like this for everybody. So insyaAllah, kalau boleh dapat membantu, then I do hope that there is something that is of benefit to you dalam this kind of time, dalam suasana sebegini, dalam bulan yang penuh barakah, especially for my Islam. I hope this was helpful. So I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
I have a disclosure to make. Episod ni memang telah pun dirancang untuk lebih daripada sebulan sebelum kami rakamkan. Sebab
sejak tahun lepas.
Sejak tahun lepas. So maybe it needed the year of the horse and the Ramadan and the Lent to bring it all up, because I don't think we were ready either, because it was just so much to process, to be able to share in a very neutral context, a concept that is super important and big for a neurodivergent. Not that anything else is less important. We just wanted to illustrate the significance to our community.
Yes.
So please continue to be inclusive. When you see a big emotion, do not judge. And that's what we are trying to get out there today. Thank you so much. Signing off from Kita Family, episode 88.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.